Good morning, America. It's the DJ here. Good morning. Let's get the show ready to go. Let me get ready to answer your questions. All right, I got my iPad already here. Can see your chats. It is Monday. It's July. Holy cow, it's July. July is here, folks. I am the DJ. This is Migrant Mayhem. Today we're talking about zombies. Yes, we're going to talk about the zombies among us. Yes. Okay, what we got going here? We got Dulcina by Steve Adams from the YouTube audio library. If you're a content creator, you got access to all this audio for free. Beautiful music. Beautiful music. Let's get the show on the road. Let's bring the music down as the DJ does. Yeah, I hope you had a good weekend, or are you just having a elongated weekend? Let me add some more lighting here. It's kind of dark, but our conversation today is going to be a little dark for us. So yesterday I went to a car show and was chatting with a gentleman. He had a beautiful car. He had like a 67 Corvette, split dual window, very pricey car. Beautiful car. He said he's had it for like 29 years. So he also, as we were talking, he also said that he was an investor in commercial or residential properties for many years. Had a portfolio of properties that he owned, and things were going well. He said he had a daughter that was into real estate, and people are like 10 when a property comes up for sale. He says there's 10 or 15 people bidding on a property, and several people looking to buy houses with cash only, and life is good. Which everything he says is probably correct. I believe him. I certainly believe everything he says. But folks, I asked him, I said, where do you think housing values are going to be within the next 5 years? And he didn't have a question. He didn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer for me. To which I told him, I said, there's a lot of red lights a flashing. There's red lights a flashing out there that housing prices have to come down, folks. Housing prices have to come down. And let's just say I don't see the Fed changing interest rates all that much in the next year, 2 years. They're going to be bringing it down 0.25% by 0.25%, and that's not going to have much of an impact on our housing interest rates. So right now we're at 7%, and the housing market's frozen. The housing market's frozen around here. Some areas, I mean, granted, it's not going to go down across the country all at once. It's going to be market by market. There's several areas in California where it's plummeting. Austin, Texas is plummeting right now. Chicago's kind of just holding its own. There's no inventory in my neighborhood and area. Very few houses on the market, and when they do show up, they get snatched up pretty quick, which is a good sign, right? But part of the fact right now, folks, is people can't afford, the people who've had houses for 10, 15 years can't afford to move unless they really have to. And, you know, the people around me, some of the people around me that have moved, they're veterans, so they were able to get some veteran rates on mortgages, which helped them be able to move. So the housing market here in Illinois is about ready to collapse. And I told this gentleman that. I said, hey, now is the time to get out. If you've got properties that you're looking to cash out in the next 5 to 10 years, you may want to do that now. You just might want to do that now at the top. Otherwise, you may be holding those properties for a little bit longer than you expected. And he had his wife with him, and she was a little triggered. She seemed triggered by the fact that I was questioning that super high housing prices were going to remain that way forever. And let's just say my mama didn't raise a dummy. And as I look around me and look at this economy, yeah, there's some people with a lot of cash, okay? There's a lot of people with cash. And guess what? A lot of those people with cash are trying to turn that fiat currency into fixed assets. Okay? Right? The guy said there was a bunch of people looking to buy houses with cash. Yeah, there probably are. And they're looking to turn it into a fixed asset like a house or some silver because they're scared as hell that our dollar's going to plummet to zero. Okay? So there's one thing the guy's not recognizing. There's a reason why people are running to buy houses and paying cash. Because they're scared as hell of getting caught with their britches down when this system comes crumbling down. Crumbling down. It's gonna fall one day. We're gonna see the stock market, instead of melting up, it's just gonna crash. It's just gonna crash, and who knows when that day is, folks. Right now, the stock market is highly manipulated, highly propped up by our government. And let's just say, though, that the stock market and the economy are not attached. Just because the stock market is doing well doesn't mean that our economy is doing well. And we've talked about this before. The next couple of weeks, we're going to hear that the GDP of this nation is probably sub 2%. And what that means is we are in an official depression at that point. Okay, or a recession. So that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. Look around. People are driving cars that look like they came out of a junkyard. I see on a daily basis cars held together with duct tape and who knows what, plastic bags over the windows. People can't afford to get their cars fixed anymore. If they're in an accident, they just keep driving their cars. It's somewhat crazy. I mean, it's Mad Max out there, right? It's Mad Max out there right now on the roads. Car dealers are hurting. Look at the car dealership lots as you drive by, folks. There's no empty spaces. There is no empty spaces. I was by a Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealer just yesterday, and they're like double and triple parking them on their lots now. Their lots getting a little full. Some of these dealers are now offering, anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000 off of cars, brand new cars. Let me say that again. Some of these dealers are offering incentives of $7,000 to $15,000 off on brand new cars and trucks. That's crazy, right? There's a lot of people that are continuously putting themselves into positions where they're increasing their debt. They're increasing their debt load exponentially, and these are the people that are digging themselves a deeper hole, and they're never going to get out. They're never going to get out. They are never going to get out. Yeah, there you go. So, comment down below, do you think that our economy and the housing market's going to continue to boom near you? I'm surprised. It's holding up pretty well here, but I know it's on borrowed time. Here in Illinois, specifically Northwest Illinois of Chicago, it's on borrowed time. It's on borrowed time. Government's already raising taxes. People aren't going to want to buy a house when taxes are through the roof. We just talked, I did a video a couple days ago where the Cook County Treasurer has issued a warning that residential rates are going to go up. Residential rates in Chicago are going to go up, if nothing more, due to the fact of, they're not telling you, it's the migrants, the cost of the migrants, and the fact that they're reassessing a lot of commercial properties that are empty. That's another thing people don't realize. It doesn't make the normal news that these office towers, these office buildings are being torn down. I can tell you in Deerfield, Illinois, and Northbrook, they're tearing down millions of square feet of office buildings, and people can't connect that that's going to result in their taxes going up. So if you've got a bunch of office buildings sitting there empty and they're starting to tear those office buildings down in your neighborhood, that's tax dollars that are just vanishing, folks. Those are tax dollars that were going to your municipalities, and now they're going to have to come up with ways to replace that tax dollars. And you know how they're going to do that? They're going to adjust the residential rates to make up for that. So 1, 2 office buildings being torn down or sitting there empty, mostly empty, is okay. But when they start adding up like a train, you get 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 office buildings mostly empty, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem for your government, and it becomes a problem for you, the taxpayer. So look around, and you might want to check out some of these real estate rags and see how bad the commercial real estate is around you. I know here in Chicago it's a hell of a lot worse than people realize. We got some real primo office buildings in the suburbs that are mostly empty. I've seen older buildings torn down because companies bought them for whatever reason. They just want the property, tear them down. There was a A.J. Gallagher over here in Rolling Meadows. They decided to buy an office building next to their corporate headquarters for like an extra $12 million, and then they tore it down. It was their decision, but office building had been there for 40, 50 years. They say, what the hell, let's tear it down. Across the street and down the road is Continental Towers, over 1 million square feet of office space, mostly empty. I don't know, it was up for sale. I don't know if anybody bought it, but I'm sure whoever ends up buying that's going to get a discount. And I'm sure the people of Rolling Meadows are going to see a tax hit when that office building gets reassessed, because the purchase price is now going to be a hell of a lot lower than that office building was worth years ago. So there you go. There's the reality, folks. There's a lot of people that think the party will never end. Yes, the party will never end. And I'm here to tell you that you might want to think about that. You might want to spend some time thinking about what's going to happen when the party does end. Because it is going to end. And I'm telling you that right now. The party is bound and determined this party is going to end sometime soon. So I suggest that you think about that and start doing some preparing. Start getting some of this easily available, right? So when the banks go under, you still have access to some cash. Get yourself some fixed assets like this. Gold and silver, some precious metals. Stock up on your food. Get yourself a generator. Get yourself a way to cook food outdoors. Prepare, folks. Prepare. Be prepped. Be prepped, as my buddy Dan Larson is. He's an author on prepping. We need to chat with him someday. Hey Dan, get in touch with me if you're out there, and we'll see about doing a chit chat on prepping. He wrote a book on prepping, so in my book that means he's thought about it just a little bit, right? He's thought about it just a little bit and probably has something to share with you guys. So yeah, times are tough, folks, and they're not getting any better. That's the message for today. I think I'm going to end this as we progress through our July 4th weekend. I hope you have a patriotic 4th of July week as we head to the 4th. It's now July. Woohoo! It's a new month. We are into July. Summer is progressing, and it's we're getting closer to the end of the year, folks. So be prepared and watch what's going on around you, because there is evil lurking everywhere, folks. I'm telling you, evil is lurking. Get yourself some Vexor. Get yourself some protection. There's a lot of different methods of protection out there you may want to consider. Yeah. What is that again? There you go. So, you guys going to the NASCAR race downtown Chicago this weekend. Be safe, and it's getting crazy down there in Chicago. Down there in Chicago way, it is getting crazy, and if you don't believe me, check the news, folks. Just check the news. Okay, so it's DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out. This is Migrant Mayhem. This is Land Cruiser Midwest. Check out all of our content, car shows, foodie, a little bit. We do these podcasts on a daily basis, and when we end them, we say, see ya.